So I treated myself to one of these, which is a Scarlett 2i2 audio interface. I will be showing you the Scarlett 2i2 straight out of the box, explaining what it is, what it does, all the key features, and my overall impression. I'll also reveal some hints and tips so that you can get the most out of it. So, what is an audio interface? Well, think of it like a bridge between your microphone or musical instrument on one end and your laptop or PC or even phone on the other. When you use a decent microphone or play a musical instrument, the chances are that you're going to use either a cable like this or like this. Neither of those cables are going to plug into your PC, laptop or phone because they won't have the right type of inputs. And more than that, they aren't set up to handle those audio signals directly. And that's where the audio interface comes in. It enables your microphone or musical instrument and your PC or laptop to talk to each other. And so it's especially useful in music production and podcasting. One of the things that sets the Scarlett 2i2 apart from its competitors is some very good onboard preamps. A preamp takes the incoming audio signal and boosts it, essentially making it louder. And this is particularly helpful with, say, an electric guitar, which has quite a weak audio signal. But preamps, like everything, do vary in quality. You'll find that those of lower quality tend to create unwanted noise, as well as doing the actual job of boosting the audio signal. So you will hear your electric guitar or microphone, but you'll also hear a hum or a hiss. With higher quality preamps, also known as clean preamps, you shouldn't get this problem. Either there won't be any noise at all, or it will be inaudible, giving you a nice, clean sound. And that's what's on board the Scarlett 2i2. And because it does have high quality preamps, that's what makes this product so appealing. Because it enables people who want studio quality production in their own homes, but don't have a lot of money to spend, to achieve their goal. And to help you achieve that goal, it also comes with 6 pieces of software. I'm going to talk more about the Scarlett 2i2 in a few seconds, but before I do, just so you know, there is a link to this product in the description below if you decide you want to buy one for yourself. It won't cost you anything extra, but as an Amazon affiliate, I will earn a small commission. Let's get back to it. The first thing you'll notice is it's very small, making it easily portable if you want a mobile recording studio. Maybe you want to take your podcast on the road, for example. It measures 178mm wide, 87mm deep, and 50mm high. It comes with a USB-A to USB-C cable, and that's how you connect it to your computer, and that's also how it's powered.
The unit build feels solid, with a red metal chassis protecting the main body of the unit. The business ends of the unit, however, are plastic. On the front of the Scarlett, there are 2 balanced inputs, with clever dual ports that will take both 1/4-inch jacks and XLR cables. It's been a few years since I had a mixing desk, and the ports for XLRs and jacks always used to be separate and therefore took up more space. So these types of dual-purpose ingest ports seem like a very clever space-saving innovation to me.
Each of these balanced inputs has a gain control dial, and these are worthy of mention for 2 reasons. Firstly, they feel of good quality to the touch, and as you turn them up or down, you'll get a good sense of resistance with no wobble. Secondly, they have gain halos, which in other words are LED indicators to help you avoid clipping by giving you a red, amber or green light. There's a few important buttons below the inputs, and you need to know about these in order to get the best quality sound. If you put a 1/4-inch jack into the Scarlett 2i2, by default it's going to assume that it's a line level input. A line level input might be something like a keyboard, a computer, or a mobile phone, and these have a high level of gain and quite a high level of impedance, and therefore they don't require any help from the Scarlett to make them sound good. However, if you're plugging in an electric guitar or electric bass, or anything else with magnetic inputs, then it will require you to press the Inst button because it's an instrument level input. And by pressing this, it's telling the audio interface to boost the gain and the impedance a little bit to give you a better sound. If you're using a microphone, make sure that the Inst button isn't selected, and if you're using a dynamic microphone, then you may need to turn the gain up a little bit. If you're using a condenser mic, make sure that you press the 48V button, and that will give you the phantom power required to make the microphone work. The other useful button for dynamic microphones is the air button, because by pressing this, it just elevates the higher frequencies a little bit, giving you a brighter sound. With the condenser mics, you shouldn't need the air button because they already have a pretty good high end anyway. The Scarlett 2i2 also has a 1/4" jack port for your headphones with volume control. If you have a smaller jack for your headphones, like a 3.5mm one, which is the standard for most devices, then I would recommend buying yourself a new set of headphones with a 1/4" jack. You can buy adapters, but I generally find the results are less satisfactory. You'll also notice a monitor dial. At the back of the unit there are 2 balanced line outputs, and that's if you have some studio monitor speakers. If you don't worry, you don't need them, just use the headphone jack as described. I've had a Korg Triton keyboard now for around about 20 years and it's fantastic, but parts of it don't work anymore, and that includes the headphone port. So the only way that I'm able to get any sound from this thing is via an old guitar amp, and worse than that, the only way that I'm able to record the sound of the keyboard is by placing a USB condenser mic next to this noisy amp. And suffice it to say, the results are at best underwhelming. So now I've used the Scarlett 2i2 to play the keyboard through, and I've got to say that compared to the sound that I've been used to all these years playing through my guitar amp, it is like night and day. I used both inputs to get the left and right signals to come out of the keyboard, and I heard beautifully clean stereo for the first time in years. There was not a hint of unwanted noise, and because I used the gain halos, I was very confident when I was giving the keyboard some welly that it wasn't going to distort, and indeed it didn't. It picked up the dynamic range of my playing very well, so that the quieter bits and the louder bits were reproduced just as faithfully. And what I liked about it, apart from the amazing audio quality, was it was really easy to use. Straight out of the box, I was able to do plug and play to my laptop, and very quickly I was able to record with Audacity, which is my preferred software for recording music. It was intuitive, simple, and I thought produced some great results. So I hope this video has been helpful to you and that you get to experience this really great audio quality for yourself at home. And I will see you in the next one.